Ever imagine yourself at the controls of a massive machine, hundreds of feet underground?
Wow, that's pretty vivid imagery.
We're not talking about your average construction site here. This is the deep dive you requested into the world of underground heavy equipment operators.
You've been digging into RoleCatcher, which, by the way, is a treasure trove of info on this career path.
Yeah, and judging by your notes, you're ready for something with a little more grit than a typical desk job.
To say the least.
Okay, so we're talking heavy-duty equipment in a mining environment. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, forget those sunny open-air work sites. Think confined spaces, often with low light and ventilation, where the air is thick with dust and the constant roar of machinery is your soundtrack.
Talk about a challenging office. The RoleCatcher excerpts mention some pretty serious safety protocols. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, safety is paramount in this line of work, and for good reason.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher cites a significantly higher risk of injury compared to other occupations.
Wow.
That's why rigorous training and adherence to strict safety measures are absolutely essential. We're talking about preventing everything from rock falls and equipment malfunctions to potential exposure to hazardous materials.
So, not a job for the faint of heart. But what does a typical day look like for someone who thrives under pressure? You're heading into the depths, ready to wrangle some serious machinery. What's on the agenda?
Your day might involve operating a continuous miner,
Okay.
a beast of a machine that cuts through solid rock like butter, extracting the valuable ore.
Got it.
Or you could be maneuvering massive loaders, filling haul trucks that transport the extracted materials to the surface.
I'm picturing these gigantic machines, but what does operating really entail in this kind of environment? It can't be as simple as pushing buttons and steering.
You're right, it's far more complex than that. You're not just an operator, you're a problem solver.
I see.
RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of operations monitoring, constantly checking gauges, analyzing systems, and troubleshooting any issues that arise. One malfunction deep underground could bring the entire operation to a standstill.
And I imagine those problem-solving skills are especially crucial when you're talking about ore, which, by the way, refers to the rock that actually contains the valuable minerals, right?
Exactly. Extracting and processing that ore is the name of the game, and it requires a deep understanding of the machinery and the mining process itself. You're working in sync with a team, communicating with engineers, geologists, and other operators to keep things moving smoothly.
So you're not just managing these massive machines, you're part of a complex operation that demands teamwork and constant communication. Makes you realize it's a lot more than just a blue-collar job, right? Speaking of which, how does someone climb the ranks in this field? What does the career trajectory look like for an aspiring underground heavy equipment operator?
Well, you're starting off right by digging into RoleCatcher because they actually lay out a pretty clear progression. You begin at the entry level, building your skills and experience. From there, you can advance to junior operator, then experienced, and ultimately, the coveted role of senior underground heavy equipment operator.
So there's definitely room to grow. What kind of doors open up as you gain more experience and move up the ladder?
For starters, your responsibilities increase. As a senior operator, you might be supervising a team, overseeing the maintenance of multiple machines, or even training new recruits. You might also have the opportunity to specialize in operating a particular type of equipment, which can make you even more valuable to mining companies. RoleCatcher mentions high demand for operators skilled in remote-controlled machinery and automation.
So even though it's a job rooted in hands-on work, technology is changing the game.
Absolutely. And that's where those training programs come in. RoleCatcher highlights the importance of staying ahead of the curve by pursuing certifications in areas like hydraulics, electronics, and even software interfaces for those high-tech machines.
It's amazing to think that someone who enjoys working with their hands could end up mastering some pretty sophisticated technology. But let's be real, this isn't a walk in the park. What are the trade-offs? What should someone genuinely consider before taking the plunge into this career path?
You're right to weigh the pros and cons. RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat the challenges. The work is physically demanding, often requiring long hours and irregular shifts. You could be working weekends, holidays, even overnight.
And we're talking about working underground, sometimes in cramped conditions with potential hazards all around, right?
Exactly, it's not for everyone.
Right.
But for those who thrive in that kind of environment, who enjoy the camaraderie of a close-knit team and the satisfaction of mastering complex machinery, it can be an incredibly rewarding career.
Especially when you factor in the earning potential. RoleCatcher mentions some impressive salary figures, even for entry-level positions.
That's right. Demand for skilled operators often outpaces supply, which translates into good pay and benefits. But here's a catch. Remember how we talked about the mining industry being cyclical?
Right, meaning it's subject to economic ups and downs. What does that mean for someone considering this career path?
It means job security can be a bit of a roller coaster. There might be periods of high demand followed by slowdowns or layoffs. It's something to factor in, especially if you're someone who values stability.
So you really need to weigh those long-term prospects against the short-term financial gains. But here's where it gets interesting. RoleCatcher hinted at how AI is changing the game, not just in terms of the machinery itself, but in navigating the career landscape as well. Tell me more about this AI advantage.
It's pretty fascinating. Imagine having an AI assistant helping you tailor your resume to specific job descriptions, highlighting the exact skills employers are looking for.
So instead of blasting out generic applications, you're using AI to give yourself an edge.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And it gets even cooler. Some platforms offer AI-powered interview prep. They analyze your responses to common interview questions, provide feedback on your delivery, even suggest ways to improve your answers.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket. Who knew AI could play such a pivotal role in a field like this?
It speaks to the evolving nature of skilled trades. Technology is changing everything, and those who embrace it will have a definite advantage.
So listener, as you consider a deep dive into the world of underground heavy equipment operators, remember this. It's a career that demands grit, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace both the raw power of massive machinery and the strategic precision of cutting-edge technology. It's about shaping the world from the ground down, literally. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one at the controls, driving the future of mining itself.